Hi folks, my camera has finally come. The Panasonic camcorder 770, V770. I'm hoping a friend will phone me back and who has experience with this camera, just so I can set it up. It's a lovely thing. It's got a lot of buttons and things to press and poke, but I don't want to muck it up before I even start. So I'll have to be a bit patient. I'll read the brochure and the instructions, and I'll go on YouTube as well, because there are numerous write-ups about this particular camera. I think it's the top of the range budget camera, so it's got a pretty good pedigree. Okay, now back to the task in hand. I've got a bit of paper primed with some burnt umber acrylic paint with some white titanium white gesso. Bits of it showing through, but it doesn't matter. It's pretty well sealed. I've got a hair there, but that really does bug me, so I try to remove those because they do show. There we are. Just lift it up, put it off. There we go. Any more? Not that I can. Sorry, not that I can see. It's a beautiful morning, cold morning in London. Let's just push this one up. So I've got one blind closed because the sun's still very low. So let's do a cloud study, and we'll put it over a bit of landscape. Just a simple basic. But what simple basic turns out to be a rod for one's back occasionally. So palette from yesterday, I've got it in my Stay Wet palette, but I've got, it's just a membrane. It's soaking the oil out of the paint, I think, but it's kept it all nice and moist anyway. So we've got cadmium red, ultramarine, bit of Payne's grey, Viridian I probably won't use, some cadmium yellow pale, here we are, and some yellow ochre and white. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colours with that one. Count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five colours plus Viridian if I want. I've got the Payne's grey. I could go do this with 4 colours, but just 3 primaries and Payne's grey. And I'm making my greens with the 3 primaries. That's a good way to learn to see how far you can go by mixing a couple of colours. The more colours you use, the more confused you can get. So I've got a bit of liquid and a bit of liquid's a dryer and an extender. It's really good stuff, and I've added a bit liquid original. I've added a bit of linseed oil to it because this liquid is pretty expensive. I bought a big tub of it, 250ml tube, a plastic bottle, and I always cut the tops off, the black child-proof caps, because I've got any children here. There it opens and seals. I'm fed up with trying to twist the black caps, and they just keep going round and round, clicking away, but not opening. So, I'll just have a bit of that. Let's get a bit of blue. Just put some paint on. Whatever we put on, we can change because we're working in oil paint. All these are student colours. This is about 7.5 by 11 paper. I've got a mount that would just about fit it. So I'm going to go to the top and the bottom, like I show you. That one. So there's not a lot of margin at the top or bottom. So there we are. Now that'll go on later if we get that far. Plenty of white. And you can modify the light colour with some yellow ochre. Oh, the yellow ochre is a student quality. It's not a student quality. It's an artist quality. So just a way of working your way into doing a cloud. And I want to try to show that dark clouds are dark mainly because they've got the sun behind them, and you get that halo of brilliant light around the dark cloud. That's what I'm aiming for with this. I didn't quite pull it off yesterday when I did one for you. So I have to thank my patrons for buying this camera that I saved up over 2 or 3 months, and I've got a camera that I know is a good camera. Okay, you can paint thinly, you don't have to paint thick. Right, I've got a cloth here somewhere, I did have. Help, what have you done with it? Got it. It's a flannel. Save your toweling. If you're going to get into oil paints, you need lots and lots of toweling. I use it for cleaning my brush by pulling through that. I'm hoping that with this new camera I can link it up to my laptop and download straight onto it and use the pause and record on the computer screen. But we'll see about that. Some sad news, a couple of days ago. My old friend Fred Gillespie, one of Britain's greatest watercolour painters of representational art, landscapes, died at 7:30 in the morning, and he had asbestosis. Now, Fred Gillespie, very interesting guy. He was 87, he had a good innings, but he got asbestosis because at one time he was installing mechanical machinery, and the asbestos killed him in the end. But he had a good life, and he was a sign writer, instrument maker, a brilliant practical man. And have a look on his gallery, Fred Gillespie, 2 L's, and you'll see some of the wonderful paintings that he did. And when he wasn't doing that, he was making frames for our art group that we belong to. Well, I used to, I don't now. I know we're going to put in some dark. So dark, we can mix Payne's grey and blue, that's a good mix. Let's try that. Bit of white. That's quite weak, but we want dark. But I want to bring the cloud down further than I did yesterday to have it sort of coming up over a hill. Go right to the edge. So we'll have that cloud coming down there. I'm going to put some trees in there. Okay. How are we doing? Oh, I think let's get that darker now. Let's add a bit of red to it. And a little bit of oil. Well, there's a lot of colour in clouds, but as artists we look out for reference material and a good sky. I do occasionally, like the one yesterday, I took the sky from a TV scene of a field with some trees on the horizon and a field, and then I worked the that's like, well, let's get some whites and get some yellow ochre. That's what's dry. The yellow ochre is dry a little bit. That's because of the I have to squeeze some more out. It's a liquid. It dries. It's a dryer and an extender, and it's marvellous stuff. No. So, but we want that coming down further, that grey. Let's. Right, okay. I'm going to squeeze out a little bit more yellow ochre. You could also use, don't want much of that, but I'll show you another oil that I use, but they are quite pricey. Is this Winsor & Newton fast drying medium. That's a great, it's almost like a liquid, but I've got quite a lot of that now, so I'm not afraid to use it. And we need to put a bit of a light and dark in that. See what happens here. To slowly bring it to life, just a bit showing through a thinner cloud. Now let's get we get this. Well, we'll work that in a bit. We don't want any like bits and pieces. We want it blended a little bit. So we get that dark. But I'm a bit constrained here. Right, okay, now I reckon we've got almost enough on that. Right, get a bit of that blue sky back into that. Just white and ultramarine. Oh, let's get a bit of white and a little bit of ochre. I just put in a couple of chasing these light clouds away. Now this is not as easy as it looks, but you just have to persevere and just move around the paper or your support. And we're putting some light clouds. This is similar to what I did yesterday, but this is more of a tutorial. Look at that blue. I can't get away from the cloud. Right, well, I changed the brush. I'll get 1, 2, just put in some light clouds here, going into darker trees. So we'll have blue, red, yellow. Right, bit of liquid. Just mixing it like 3 primaries. If you want darker, just use more blue. And the red. We're starting with I want the light ones here. Oh, I forgot to drink my tea. I want that darker than that. Now, how easy is that to do? Now we want a bit of dark. I have done a lot of this, as you know, so we want light here because the light will be, I'm going to enhance the light. I'm not quite happy with the shape of that cloud. It just looks like someone's just slapped a pancake on. But we'll use this lovely cadmium yellow. Dark, a bit of shadow. We'll have sort of 1.5 light. Right. I want a nice light on here. Right, we can adjust that in a minute. I'll put a bit of a floor in. And I'll use a cadmium yellow. A lovely green. And what I did yesterday was to put some much lighter yellow in here. Right. We're just creating an impression, an illusion. We'll have darker shadowy green in here. Touch of got to go right to the edge of that because it'll grin. Right, now we'll brighten up. Now that cloud looks very heavy, doesn't it? So we will change that, we'll work on that. Okay, so we've got cloud shadow, or a bit of cloud shadow in here. Well, I'm going to work on that cloud now. We're getting somewhere. I hope the picture's okay. See if we get that a bit darker. Let's put a bit more Payne's grey up. Payne's grey mixes very well with a lot of colours. It's not black. I believe it's made from alizarin crimson, Prussian blue, and black. But I'm not sure on that. Okay, let's get some of that nice light blue. Oh, let's so we have a cloud going across, I think. So it doesn't need to be white or anything, but a bit of ochre. Well, that's a bit more interesting there. Let's see if we can get some of that light underneath. Well, let's put a bit of that light blue back. Well, that's a bit different, isn't it? It's a Payne's grey mixed with that blue. Oh, it's softened all there. I would try to get a real bit of bright under those clouds. Just a little bit shining through the cloud. Now I'm making this one up. It's, I should put maybe a bit of dark in there. Let's try it. Right, I want my light on there, but I need to put some dark on there first, so I'll make my bit of green up. Now, the light should be on that, on those trees, because so we've got light coming down here, but do I illuminate, or do I make that dark? I think I'll make that, put more shadow in that. So I just have a bit of blue, bit of red. So let's put a little bit of that shadowy colour in here. Okay, let's just stand it up. Now what I like to do with these is to, I'm drinking my tea, it's gone cold now. Horrible cold tea. Some might like it. Now what I like to do is just get a bit of white and just put let's try a bit of red. That doesn't really show, but the white, it's a figure in a landscape, isn't it? Let's put a bit of hat on it, very gently. Right. Just walking along there, we can put another one in there. White shirt. Okay, that'll do. Right, that's all I can do with that one. It's a tutorial of how to paint a cloud and get the light of the halo. I haven't made a great job of it, but I put the light around it. Probably the basic shape of the cloud's not particularly good, but in here we've got the clouds being chased away with this sort of moving in here. I hope that sort of comes off like that, because I put the strokes like that, so that's the sweep of the cloud coming over the landscape. And we could even put a bit more dark over here. Go a bit darker with that, I think. This is a bit of Payne's grey. So that makes that look brighter now. Okay, well there we are. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll go and study my instructions for my new camera now. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.